Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 87.
I started off this morning with a run around the different all-star resorts because I do have the Star Wars Half Marathon weekend coming up, and I probably should train a little bit for that one because 3 races back to back, it's going to be really interesting. So I decided to go out for a run around the 3 different resorts here. Lots of space to run around if you kind of weave between the buildings, and also really interesting because you get to see all the different theming in the different buildings as you go. When I got back from my run, at the Broadway section there at All Star Music, I was surprised to find a Joffrey's coffee truck. Never seen that before, never heard of it.
Yeah.
Apparently it's a brand new thing they're doing. And they parked a coffee truck right there on Broadway in the street at the resort. So I went up and said, hey, are you here, all the time, every day? They said, yeah, we're here every morning. We're going to bring the truck and just set up and have coffee so you don't have to go all the way to the food court. I was like, okay, cool. So I got myself a nitro cold brew and I got Alyssa a chocolate muffin while I was there. And I said, I'm going to give this a shot because it's here. I feel like I need to review it because it's new and we got to talk about it. We did find out that they don't take Magic Band for payment. They only take card. So I did have to go back to the room and get a card to pay for it because I was running with just my Magic Band. So it was really cool to have a coffee truck basically right outside our room there.
It was really awesome, especially because I got a muffin out of it. So I was really excited when he comes back. He's like, look what I got. I'm like, where did you get Joffrey's? I know they don't have that here at the resort. It's like, no, they just had a food truck out there. I was like, well, that's really cool. It was always fun to find those little things that were new, especially at the resorts, because we were there. Because we were there all the time, we got to experience things that weren't necessarily talked about as much because nobody knew about them yet. And that was one of those things. After we enjoyed a nice little breakfast there, I started working on getting some posts ready up for social media, sharing about winged encounters and answering a lot of questions and messages we had. It had been a little bit of time, so I had quite a few I was going through, so it did take time. And Robert had the fun task today of working on our taxes.
Yay for taxes.
Those don't go away when you live in the resorts.
Yeah, and in my business, I don't have a bookkeeper that I pay because we don't really quite have enough transactions in a year to really justify it. I can do it myself. So I was going through and reconciling all of our books and trying to get everything ready to hand over to our accountants so they could file our taxes for the year. Of course, I'm not going to be able to get to it all today because there's just so much to do. And then we also have our personal taxes. We have to go and fill all that out and all of our W-2s and 1099s and all that good stuff. Lots of fun. So much fun. And it's probably going to take me the entire day to do that.
For lunch, we got to enjoy some of those haleo leftovers, and they were still just as good as they were yesterday.
Yep.
It was actually amazing to go and take this huge bag of leftovers to the food court here at All Star, and we're pulling out peppers and steak and all this great stuff. Like, they do not serve this here, I'm sorry. But it was so good. We had a really nice meal. After lunch, Robert went back to the room to work. It was really hot out today, but that means I'm really excited. I went and worked poolside. I love working poolside when I can, so I went over to the quiet pool that is shaped like a piano there at All Star, and it was really nice because there weren't very many people there, so it was kind of quiet. They don't have loud music at the quiet pools, so I just got to answer a bunch of comments and help a lot of people on social media while sitting there enjoying that view.
I just stayed there in the room working, and around 5 o'clock, Alyssa came back and said, hey, we're going to have to get ready to go soon, but before we go, I want to take one more Disney bounding picture there in the Broadway section by the Beauty and the Beast poster. This time she had her Beauty and the Beast inspired outfit that she wanted to put on. So she got all dressed up for that, and we went out and took a few pictures there in the Broadway section right by one of those posters, and then came back to the room, grabbed our stuff, and headed over to Disney Springs because tonight is the premiere of the new live action Dumbo movie. And that's a really cool perk that we have of living in the resorts for a year is every single Disney movie that premieres, we're watching it on Disney property at Disney Springs. It's the closest theater, and honestly the price is about the same as all the other theaters around. So we got to see all those premieres, and they tended to do a little bit more at Disney Springs than they would at a normal theater with the red carpet or banners or photo opportunities or whatever it may be. So it was really awesome to get to experience that throughout all the different movies of the year, including this one.
After the movie, we made our way back to our resort and did a live recap on Facebook, sharing our thoughts without any spoilers. We didn't want to spoil the movie for anyone. And this was a Tim Burton film, and it very much felt like a Tim Burton film. And so I did not enjoy it as much. Robert enjoyed it more than I did.
I'm a big fan of Tim Burton's movies, pretty much all of them. And so I sat there really enjoying it because I like that style. But I also knew that Alyssa doesn't like that style, except for maybe Nightmare Before Christmas. So yeah, it was pretty divided on our opinions there. It still was not an amazing movie that I'm like, oh, I gotta see that again. And it was a definite retelling of the story of Dumbo. It definitely took some liberties and changed a lot of things. But overall, I think I really liked it because it was a Tim Burton film and it felt like that, whereas Alyssa, for the exact same reason, didn't like it.
When we got back to our room, we were surprised to find that there was actually something there. It was a lizard. This will be our first lizard of the year that we found in our room, and thankfully Robert was able to catch him and release him quickly because I did not want him wandering around, afraid he would like end up in our suitcase or something. I don't want that. But he didn't really move much. He just kind of was like,
no,
hey.
He was just kind of chilling there in the corner. I don't know why. Most of the time they're scurrying all over the place.
Yeah, normally they're running everywhere.
I just kind of grabbed him and tossed him out the door. It didn't really take anything.
Super simple, but that was definitely a surprise when we got back to our room. We're like, oh, we had not experienced lizards in the room. Of course, we saw them all over the resorts and the parks, but not in our room at this point. And I was very glad that he was gone because I'm not going to touch it. And Robert got rid of it for me.
Yeah, that's Florida life, though. You get lizards, you get bugs, things like that happen because, well, it's Florida. At least it wasn't an alligator in our room, I'll say that.
This is true. And that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.